Hello everyone, this is Gautam from Shailaja IS. Hope you all are doing well. This is another video on mains in minutes where we are going to discuss current affairs issues from UPSC Civil Service Examination perspective. Today's video is on the recent bill that has been introduced in the budget session of Union Parliament by Union Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, which calls for banning of real money online games. Before we look into the features of the bill, what are the arguments that are being given by the government in order to ban this or regulate this online real money games, and what are the, concerns associated with the bill? Let us have a brief background about the issue itself. So before we get into online games, online real money games, we have to understand from a federal perspective, your gambling or betting comes under your state list. Okay, so gambling or betting in the sense the lotteries you might have come across in your childhood days, or even you might have come across in your movies or your other videos. It is considered as a chance factor. Okay, and there are too many people who invest their hard-earned savings on this gambling or on this betting or on this lottery scenario. Since it comes under the purview of the state governments, different state governments have different regulations with regard to it. Most of the state governments have completely banned it. Okay, so Karnataka banned it in 2007. Other governments like your Kerala or your Tamil Nadu or your Andhra Pradesh have also banned it. So it comes under the purview of your state government. Now, what has happened with the advent of technology, especially information technology, most of this betting or gambling went online. So there were lottery games that was conducted online. And governments also wanted to update the regulations with regard to regulating such kinds of online, betting or online lottery or online gambling. Governments took measures in order to ban such kind of, online gambling platforms as well. But in the last 1.5-2 decades, what we are witnessing is emergence of new kind of online platforms which portray themselves as not a gambling platform or a betting platform, but as a platform which is based on skill. Some of these platforms or some of these online apps you might have come across in a very regular manner is your, fantasy sport platforms. Your Dream 11, I think, which sponsors your IPL, is considered as one of the online platform which is based on game of skill. Here it requires some sort of an analysis, it requires strategy, it requires knowledge, and they portray themselves not as a gambling platform, not as a platform of betting, but as a game of skill, where there is even a chance factor or luck factor which is dependent on it. Okay, and when this online platforms emerge and portrayed themselves as distinct from your pure lottery platforms, it was accepted widely by a large number of people. Nearly 45 crore people in India are estimated to be involved in such kind of online real money gaming platforms. Right, that is one report which says that 45 crore people are some sort of involved in it. Okay, so this distinction between your game of chance and game of skills, and also the legal gray area, because several governments have took steps in order to ban even these games of skills, especially your fantasy sports and poker games. Telangana was the first government to ban it, then your Andhra Pradesh, then your Karnataka, and your Tamil Nadu. Most of the governments have taken concrete legislations to ban even this game of skills. But these were again appealed in High Court, saying that you cannot consider ourselves as a gambling platform. It is distinct from it, and they are trying to get some sort of an exemption at the High Court level. Okay, their main argument is that it is violative of their Article 19 under Clause 1, Clause G, which allows for freedom of trade and profession. Right. So that is the scenario that is currently existing. They are operating in a legally gray area where several state governments have passed legislations to even ban your games of skill. Nevertheless, they have appealed it in High Court, challenging the legislations and getting exemptions, and they are continuing to operate in the country. Right? In 2023, if you look at the size of the real money gaming market, it is approximately 30,000 crores. Okay, and based on this, even in 2023, your GST Council imposed a 28% tax on all these games, whether it is based on game of skill or game of chance, or whether it is based on both of it. Right? So this is the existing scenario. Now let us understand what are the key features of the bill before going into the arguments of why this legislation was brought in the first place itself. The bill proposes three categories of online games. The first is your esports, which has been recognized by your National Sports Governance Act of 2025. For these kinds of sports, you need to pay a fees, and based on the performance, you're going to win a prize. Okay, some of the examples of esports are your Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. So that is also a big, you can say, booming video game and sporting sector, which is not entirely based on luck. This particular esports category has been legally, I can say, allowed by this particular bill. The bill promotes and supports this esports category of online real money games because they have categorically defined it. They say that these are the ones which has been recognized under the National Sports Governance Act and which is based on fees and performance-based prizes. The second is your social gaming. There has not been any legal definition that has been given in the bill, but they say that games which are provided through online platforms. The third category of online games that has been proposed in the bill is your real money games, where they have clearly defined it, saying that it's an online game played regardless of whether it is based on skill, chance, or both, and is played after a fee payment and with an expectation of winning a money. So that is the, you can say, definition that has been proposed for real money games in this particular act called as Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Act 2025. Okay, so after this categorization of the bills, they have also proposed a national authority in order to regulate this gaming sector. Now, which is going to be the central agency that is going to you can say monitor all these things, or which is going to take measures to either block it or disable it? It's your Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. In short form, you have called it as CERT-IN. This will be tasked with regard to blocking or disabling apps that continue to provide banned money gaming services in India. So once this is passed, given approval by the president, then what is going to happen is CERT-IN will be empowered that if there are certain apps that continue to you can say still provide services through your Google Market or any other online platform, this will be empowered in order to disable or you can say block them. The new act also provides for budget allocation from the Consolidated Fund of India in order to promote online social gaming in this country. Online social gaming as well as esports in the country. They are saying that we are going to promote such kind of games which is not real money games, okay, which has been banned. However, the act makes no provision in order to constrain minors from playing online social game or esports. So if there would have been any particular provision with regard to regulating minors using your online social games or esports, it would have been a better legislation. Maybe with the revision or with the modification proposed by members of parliament, they might include this particular provision in the upcoming revisions of the bill. Right. Now, what has been the arguments in favor of this bill? First thing, they are saying that it's not a knee-jerk reaction. There has been various committees that have been set up in order to study this. There has been various studies that have been done in order to conduct the impact of this online real money games. And there has been, I can say, legislations that has been passed by the parliament, high court judgments or high court verdicts. And in 2020, there was an amendment to your IT rules which allowed or which treated online gaming firms as your social media intermediaries and asked them to go for a self-regulation model. So they tried with self-regulation model where any users have to provide their details or they have to fulfill the know your customer norms so as to continue it in a legal manner or without facing any legal problems. But we have seen, I think the government is not satisfied with the self-regulatory model which was proposed in year 2023 and which was followed by all these online real money games platforms. Okay. 2023, as I told you, 28% GST was imposed, and this industry or this sector itself has approximately contributed 7,000 crores to the GST revenues. Okay. Now, the second big argument which they say is the algorithms that are, you can say, at the back end of all this online real money games. They are biased and they are opaque. They say that they have concrete proof that these algorithms will not allow any particular user to have a net winning prospect in a long run. So they say that the algorithms itself is designed in such a manner that the person is going to lose. So it is not based on your, I can say, skill or knowledge or strategy or analysis. the algorithm itself is biased, where a person is going to be a net loser in the long run. So that is the one of the core argument which the government is giving. Second argument, they also say that these sorts of games can also be played by various bots. Okay, and the entry of this bots is going to undermine the fairness of the game itself. So that is the one of the core argument. Therefore, it cannot be considered as a game of skill. It is actually considered as a game of chance, where the algorithms are not in favor, or they're not upholding the fairness of the game itself. Right. Third thing, which they are clearly telling, is that the unchecked expansion of real money games has been linked to various financial frauds, money laundering, tax evasion. There are two reports which the government sources have stated. One which says that these companies are evading taxes to the tune of 2,000 crores. The other says that the tax evasion is to the tune of 30,000 crores. So they argue that these online platforms are engaging in illegal financial activities like money laundering and tax evasion and other sorts of things. The another argument which they say is that most of these firms are operating from abroad, where governance challenges, or you can say enforcement challenges, continue to happen. For example, a state government like Andhra Pradesh or Karnataka passes a law in order to ban it, but since they're not operating within their state, the implementation or enforcement becomes a challenge. So they feel that there needs to be a overarching national legislation which deals with such kind of legal loopholes. And one of the other big concern union government is giving is that it has also become a threat to your national security. They say that some of this, not all of them, some of this real money online games are being used for funding your terror activities, and they have also become agents for your funding terror activities. One of the example they have cited is Chinese app called as Swevin has defrauded Indian users of approximately 400 crore rupees. So that case is being now is under investigations. Okay. So they say that in order to strengthen or secure our national security, we need to regulate such kind of online real money gaming platforms, right? The another big argument they say is that from a public welfare perspective, nearly 45 crore people are a part of this particular platforms who have been impacted by this, and cumulatively they are losing approximately 20,000 crore from on this online gaming platform. So this is an estimate, rough estimate, which the government is citing when they were introducing this bill. Another big concern is with regard to the mental health deterioration. Your World Health Organization and other reputed international agencies have also provided concrete studies which shows that such kind of real money gaming platforms is adversely impacting your mental health. It is creating anxiety, it is creating depression, and it is creating behavioral problems among the gaming users. So based on all these arguments, the government says that it is necessary for us to ban this real money gaming, online gaming platforms. Now the concerns or the criticisms or the shortcomings of the bill, first thing, as I told you, there has been no provision with regard to, you can say, regulating the minors using your esports or your online social gamings. Second argument is that there is a strong lobby who are fighting cases legally in the court, who clearly say that it is a game of skill. Please don't consider it as considering the category of betting or gambling or lottery. And they say that such kind of blanket ban is violative of Article 19 Clause 1, Article 19 Clause 1 Clause G, which guarantees your right to trade and occupation. Right? And they also say that if you go for a blanket ban, it is going to impact livelihoods of nearly 2 lakh people who are involved in this particular industry. That is one of the arguments which this industry has given. They also say that since 2023, when 28% tax was imposed on this online real money gaming platforms, whether it was based on game of chance or game of luck, they have contributed nearly 7,000 crores to the GST revenue or to the overall consolidated fund of India, and there might be possible loss with regard to the government revenue. They also say that for the past 4-5 years, there has been both domestic and foreign investment totaling nearly 22,000 crore rupees. And if such kind of regulations are brought in, it might deter your investor confidence and it may lead to withdrawal of the upcoming investments that are being planned. Finally, there's one, you can say, big argument which says that all this are going to face challenges primarily because users are going to bypass it using your advanced, you can say, computer tools like VPNs, right? So they say that even if the legislation is passed, implementation is going to be a challenge, right? So what is the way ahead? I think preferably a light touch regulatory framework. There's going to be a bit more consultation between the industry itself and arrive at a balanced approach which protects public welfare and at the same time promotes your online gaming or e-sporting sector. And more importantly, there is a need for establishment of an effective grievance redressal mechanism. If at all there are users who are being duped of this, they might get the necessary justice from this, you can say, grievance redressal bodies. Okay. And finally, there has to be greater awareness at a grassroots level through education, through media, about the, you can say, health impact of this online gaming platforms. Okay, how it is creating mental issues or how it is creating anxiety and depression and behavioral patterns. Okay, so this is all about this particular issue. There has been a one short question based on this issue. Online gaming ban reflects tension between your protecting public welfare and promoting digital economic growth. Examine this dilemma and suggest balanced regulatory approaches. So whatever points we just discussed, use it and frame a structured answer. And you can send it to me on this email ID, or you can WhatsApp to me on this particular number. Okay. And if at all you want to continue our mentorship programs, which is starting at a base price of 2,000 rupees, so you can contact me on this particular number. All the very best.